Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another AI Mastery session with Rosemary. I'm Rosemary Salem, your host. Today, we are going to go over my thoughts on the current state of AI. Personally, there are a lot of rapid changes happening, and I just definitely feel that because most of my content is tutorial based and I want to really be a guide on your journey in AI, I definitely feel that we have reached a point where, we really have to get serious about including AI in our workflows and learning how to do that and understanding prompt engineering and learning how to build our own agents and going to the courses and being data driven organizations and startups because most of my content is for solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, as well as small business owners. This is the time for you to really, and really executives as well. I want you all to understand that with all of these rapid changes, it's going to be very, very, very difficult for the masses to just catch up when you have constant rollouts every day. Just this week alone, every one of the major corporations besides IBM, I believe, have dropped some type of new model initiative. Something is going on. And this is like year three of what I call public access AI. And if you haven't started really embracing or harnessing AI, or you just, you know, even if you have started to harness it, if you haven't allowed yourself to fully embrace it and implement it to the next level, this is the time. So I wanted this to be an episode where I was able to really just share my honest opinions and thoughts and kind of go through all of the latest updates and everything. But before I do that, I have an announcement about Pip. Pip is a character I created. First and foremost, I created Pip. Let me bring him on the screen while I talk about him. So this will be in the replay. So he was a hedgehog that I created, and he has a new name. He has a whole new identity due to the massive use of Pip, the name, first and foremost, the hedgehog character. And I'm also pretty much getting ready to wrap up the whole project in itself. I definitely created it as a creative outlet, and I did not know that hedgehogs became so popular over that time period. And because I want to hold on to the authenticity of my own artwork, because even though I've seen several dupes of Pip the Hedgehog as a character, I definitely want to give him his own identity. So we'll be rebranding him. I will not announce his new name or identity until all of that is finalized and done. And as I'm sitting here trying to pull up a photo where you guys can see him in the stream, but yes, we are giving him a new identity. So he has a new name. We're changing everything. And I thought long and hard about this decision because, you know, nobody wants to go through feeling like your artwork is not authentic or it's being duplicated. And from the looks of it, it's like I've seen multiple attempts to recreate Pip. And again, this is something that I created organically. So I definitely don't want him to go down in history as not him being his unique self. So he has a new name, he has a new identity, and we're still moving forward with the branded initiative to raise awareness for neurodivergency. However, I will be creating more AI art projects um, that really specialize in creating characters. And that was the whole point. He was my first character that I created. But as I've seen, it is imperative that we change his name. So he has a new identity, new name change. I'll either be pulling some of his books. We've created books here live together, so I'll be pulling some of his books and rebranding all of his books. Is going to be a whole process, but here's what I want to share. In the times of I definitely know that I definitely implemented AI in my workflow in creating PIP. However, I definitely should have took the time out to make sure that his name was unique and organic and not used. I definitely feel that me and other people were led to use their name. And therefore, in order to make sure that my IP and the work that I put in to create this character is not tainted in any kind of way, we're doing the necessary work to rebrand him properly so that he can stand out in the marketplace and still have his chance. Because at the end of the day, this is my hard work and dedication, and it's just a lesson to share. I'm not embarrassed or anything to share lessons. I definitely feel that when you are creating, especially when you're thinking about building in public, definitely be mindful of certain things. So, in the state of AI is the purpose of this whole stream, but I definitely put no more PIP at the end to let y'all know this announcement. So, he has a new name, a new identity, and once everything is finalized, we will announce his new identity to the public. But he is definitely not going anywhere. I got so bogged down when I saw what was happening that I was like, should I just shelf him? What do I do? But I've just decided to just rebrand him because, again, he literally has his own identity. And we're actually going to be even upgrading his look. So I guarantee you, he's not even going to look um, duplicatable. I'll say that. So it's going to be a little hard to copy paste my concept or the concept of him as a whole. There's definitely going to be still hedgehogs popping up, but not my hedgehog. Okay. So I just wanted to make that announcement. And what I learned from this experience is please, 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 please make sure that you do your due diligence on everything that's what you're creating. Just do your due diligence. Transparency. I'm an artiste, so I want to make that announcement. Now, moving on to the state of AI. I feel like that we're moving into a world of agentic AI. So, what does that mean? We're going to be really, really agent focused. I don't even think that SaaS companies are prepared for the hit that will even take place in that industry. That is how serious AI agents are about to be taking over. This is, again, my show, my opinion. This is what has been reported from several other researcher and tech leaders in the space. They have seen that that's the going to be, quote unquote, the new wave. We also have seen the surge of MCPs taking over, and I've seen several discussions about the security aspect of using MCPs. I've seen developers say, "Oh, we're not going to use it," to it being in everybody's announcement that rolled out something from Google, from the GoogleIO. MCPs are from to Anthropic just announced today MCPs. Most of all of the IDEs, MCPs. That is something that is not going anywhere. And what I've also seen as a trend has been the adaptation rejection effect of everything. It's like something is announced and then it's completely denounced, or we're not going to use it, or blah blah blah. Excuse me for my lack of wording to just express myself, but I definitely hear that it's like this talking, murmuring about something that is here. So when I think about the current state of AI, I definitely feel like if you're a builder, you're gonna have to like develop a new level of maturity when it comes to this, because it's going to change even your lifestyle. It's going to impact your workflows and how you see things working out. And we're definitely in a state of rapid change, which therefore you're seeing a lot of things that are not in place, such as proper cybersecurity protocols. Oh, I can break into this person's SaaS that they built on the IDE because they don't have this in place. There are a lot of shifts and a lot of opportunities in the shifts, because when you're shifting, there becomes more problems that could be solved. And I would say, for the traditional tech leaders, those who are very stern on protocols and how things are supposed to operate, and you want to be on the forefront and in the front lines of the jurisdiction and the building of how all of this is going to be integrated, your murmuring is not a solution, if that makes sense. We have to be very solution driven, and that is the point of AI. If you want to really harness the power of AI, you have to be able to enunciate your problem to the model, and you have to make sure that you understand that its job is to be the solution. Its job is to be whatever you prompt it to be. And the more specified you get in your journey of implementation is the better, right? And I feel like another thing that I would like to address, and this is very informal, so if you all were looking for a formal string, this is not it. But another thing I want to address is, you all have to understand, we have to understand that if something is being implemented, again, rejecting it is not the response that you should look to when it comes to these models. These billions of dollars are on the table at this point. IDEs can build, right? It may not be the perfect AI application. It may need some help, of course. But when we are seeing these models, it's because in a couple of years or less, it will be literally doing heavy lifting when it comes to online business transactions, productivity, service offerings. So I would say, for my solopreneurs or for my dreamers who want to start something, use AI to fill in all of those blanks on your paper when it comes to you foundationalizing your business. If you don't know something, write it as a question, write it as a question with as much details as possible, and get started, because it is collapsing decades into days when you are using AI for certain things, not for everything. But I'm listening. I'm making my business to listen to a lot of different podcasts, a lot of different. If you're on Twitter or X, excuse me, Spaces, I read forums. I'm subscribed to several newsletters that I actually read, and of course, our news. Collectively, we are seeing so many rapid changes that it is imperative that you start to implement it. If you don't know how to build an agent, if you don't know what a GPT is, if you don't understand the power of being a data driven organization, now is the time, because speed is going to be the evolution of all of this. Eventually, when this is starting to leave early, I wrote this down. I'm not going to share all of what I wrote down, but I wrote down that we're nearing the ending of early adaptation. What does that mean? That means that all of the early adopters, the curious people, from the curious George person all the way to the senior level executive that has made it their business to be on the front lines of learning this tech, that learning gap is about to close, and we're about to go to the next phase, where this is going to really be something that is going to start being implemented at a rapid pace. And again, we need more learning, and be open to learning. The days of gatekeeping is over. I'm seeing a lot of rejection when it comes to understanding that there used to be a wave of a gatekeeping theory, right? And this theory was, you needed to go through certain people and through certain processes to receive certain information. With AI, that gate is being destroyed. So therefore, they're hungry, motivated, highly intelligent, just didn't have the pieces to their own puzzles coming through, and they are starting those startups. This is why you're seeing so many success stories. There are going to be more, because once you realize that you can really build and do what you please, that is within the capabilities of using a large language model to start, you can do that. There is no more bridge, right? There is going to be more competition in your industry. You will have to relearn things in if you're comfortable in your current state of finance, of wealth, and you're looking at this, I don't want to learn this, I don't want to learn that. Well, you as an advanced person today may be left behind tomorrow. That is the type of transition that we're in. And I have not seen in my lifetime technology be released so rapid in my life. If you're in animation, for example, with the release of VO3, I've seen and heard the feedback. Some feel like, oh, I'm not impressed with the model. If that is the new level of being non-impressed with animation, then we're going to see a whirlwind of next level animation projects and platforms that are going to blow your socks off if you're not impressed by VO3. That is where we're at. So it doesn't matter how much you disagree with the quality right now. Every level of exposure is a level that AI is now can build upon. So if it's basic to you, that means what's coming next is going to be super advanced. And what's basic to you is blowing the socks off of someone else. So the level of you being able to shift from where you are, from your strong opinions about the current tools, into understanding, I may not like this, but I need to learn it. I may not agree, but I need to get ahead. And for those organizations and small business owners who have no idea the power of data, you've never understood that you need to create data to know how you got a client in the first place, what steps, what questions, so that you can build some type of lead magnet generator or qualifier, sales qualifier agent, so that you can have some level of corresponding agent working through your list of potential clients and customers. This is the time for you to figure those things out. So my hustle entrepreneurs, this is the time for you to become and make that transition to be a data-driven organization. Overall, whether you're a developer, whether you're a project manager, whether you're a senior leader, whether you are an entry level, this is the time where you'll be where you are tomorrow, and next week you can be in a whole different position depending on how you harness the power of AI. And harnessing is taking your ego maybe out of the picture and figure out how you can pull as many as people up as possible, because we're going to need all of the hands on decks and all of the smart people and the helpful people. This is a time to collaborate and do things that you've probably put on the standby. We're going to need a lot of hands, because organizations are going to be purchasing these softwares for their companies, and therefore it's going to affect the workplace. It already has. Layoffs have already started to happen, and we live in a world, in a society where, it's a dog eat dog world in certain instances, right? And people that had very strong salary position jobs are going to be faced with job loss. It's already happened. This is not something that is new that I'm saying. I'm just echoing the state of AI and its implementation. So, what can you do? First and foremost, if you have worked any level of management and higher, you have skill sets that can be used. And I'm just talking basic level skill sets that you can turn into some type of niche or turn your strategies into some type of agent. Think about building a SaaS if you want to start there, but agentic AI is really the wave. And I've seen people say, hey, I can already see how a SaaS can be turned into an agent. So be able to display your skill sets and take the time to do these courses, these challenges. They're offering vouchers, and Microsoft offering vouchers right now. All you got to do is work the modules and get the certification for free. All of this stuff is available for you. After seeing GoogleIO, I couldn't understand why I was so emotional and so like taken aback by everything. And I realized it's because it's finally getting serious. And what I mean by serious is it's no more spectating on AI anymore. This is what's happening. And if people who are students of studying these trends are having a hard time to keep up, I can only imagine how it will be for those who are on their day one of AI implementation. And I can only imagine July and August what the marketplace is going to look like. And that's just in all honesty. So I hope that those of you all who are watching me live or watching this replay, please start taking your AI journey seriously and understand that you have options, and this is not the end. No matter what you're dealing with, you got to understand that change is uncomfortable for everyone, and everybody responds to change differently. And I understand that AI has brought in a lot of changes that none of us were expecting, but it's here and it's here to stay. So as I close, my prayer and my hope and my wish is that those, number one, who needed to hear me, that is tuned in, that you understand the severity of you creating realistic plans to display your skill sets in AI, because your career can very well soon depend on it. And I've heard this being echoed in several rooms, in several conversations. Do not let ego and you feeling like you've already done enough stop you, especially my developers out there. I would really tell you, stop going against names and having such a negative relationship to what is never going away. What you don't like vibe coding, you don't like vibe marketing, you don't like this, you don't like that. It doesn't matter what you like. It's gonna come a time where either you know how to work with these IDEs and get what needs to be done, or we're gonna go with someone else. And that's just the harsh truth. It may not happen right now, it may not happen in there. I'm not giving any timelines. I didn't say any timeline. I am just trying to be a voice of reasoning for those of you all who do tune into my show and understand my passion for AI. It just really breaks my heart because I really, I really know that this is going to impact everyone and it's going to hit hard. And what it does, I don't know. So my prayer is, and definitely what I'm dedicating myself to, is being a part of that transition. So if you are following me on my LinkedIn or on my X page, I have pinned a free course that I created on my GitHub. and it teaches you prompting. I will be updating that course very soon with more information because it's so much more I want to talk about and train on. I also have a course that I sell on Udemy. It's AI Essentials for Professionals. So you can get that. And I know I think it's on sale right now. So you can get it at a discounted rate than what I normally sell it for. Those are two resources. And AI Mastery Session is here. So we will be starting our community because my goal is to those of you all who are like, I want mastery. I feel like Rosemary is a person I want to tap into. That's who I'm here for. We have several sectors that we will be doing. So AIMasterySession.com is coming. It's already really done. The rollout is going to be announced soon, but this whole past 2 weeks for me dealing with AI, I went from having to say, why did a model give so many people the same name and same concept, right? Just out of curiosity, just wanting to know that from a development. And then going into, okay, do I let a body of work go and transition that? And then going into all from Google, and Anthropic dropped updates. We haven't even and Open AI has something that they're dropping tomorrow, and they've been dropping. So we got all of these models. We have reasoning models now. You understand what I'm saying? There are so many levels to what to use a model for, and understanding how to create your own benchmarks from what you need AI for instead of reading the reports. All of these things are imperative. You can look at benchmarks from other people, and that's really just pretty much their opinion on what it's good for, but you have to be able to look at the documents and read these research papers and understand what goes with what. And also prompting via text and prompting via voice, two different experiences. So you have to really hone in. So if you're just starting out, that's cute, but you're going to be heavily impacted by someone who's been working in the space for a longer time, or they put in a certain amount of dedication into it. And that's just with anything. But when it comes to AI, what I want you guys to do is to become project driven. So though the situation with PIP happened, I had to pivot. Now he has a new name and new identity. Here's what I was able to do from that, from actually saying, I want my goal, which was what I started with. I wanted to become a children's book author. I've always wanted to do that. That's something I've wanted to do since I was a little girl. So I've accomplished that goal. Regardless of the fact I could have just tabled the whole project and said, well, we published 11 books and 2 coloring books. That's a pretty darn good product suite to me, right? And I was able to do that in less than really 5 months. Okay, so I was able to test out the speed and the accuracy using AI. You understand? Then from there, I had to teach. So I was able to teach you all how to do exactly what I did. So now I put myself in a better position to instruct, right? So what am I saying? Start with the goal, create a project, and teach. Those are 3 things that we need everyone to be doing. If you're vibe coding, we need your content on YouTube. We really need your content on YouTube. This is not I'm asking that you post, because these IDEs, we need people. Okay. So I also noticed in the developer community, I'm new, right? I'm the new kid on the block. I'm still learning. I'm still going through my processes. I'm still going through real life. Everybody is. So I'm speaking from a place of humility when I say a lot of you all need to come out your shell, and a lot of you all have to start posting what it is that you actually know how to do, what your niche is and what you're known for. If you spending all this time, start the podcast as far as content. I'm being the best kept secret is something that I've noticed is like a thing in the developer world. And I feel like you all are going to be the most impacted, whether you're a junior, mid-level, or a senior level developer. So I would just or engineer, I would just encourage you to, step out a little bit more. I love seeing some of the senior level engineers that work on the major projects, and they're like, hey, we're on Cursor, we're building the YouTube page, we're doing the content. This is something that you should do so that you can put yourself in a position, and slow and steady wins the race at the end of the day. Even myself as a creator, I hear people say, I don't want to be an influencer, I don't want to be that, I don't want to do that. But it's kind of necessary because that's how people are learning today. There are more people scrolling and spending time on social media than they do talking to their own family. I, me in as one of those people, right? You're so engaged into content. So it's a wave, and it's an opportunity for you to position yourself not only for people but for companies for your next opportunity. Okay? That's the state that we're in. And I kind of really hope that we stop doing the post rejection and see if you see the problem, it's time to solve them. Definitely feel like cybersecurity professionals, it's been so many conversations that I've been a part of in private, in all these private groups, and then you say the thing, right? Say the thing out loud. You all say it in those groups, and these are actual business opportunities that you can solve real problems. And as a former consultant, I understand when someone is very clear on what it is that they can offer in the marketplace, but what I'm unclear about is why haven't you started doing it? One of the things that I wanted to do when I started my series was not only to just show you all the character that I build using all AI tools, it was to be able to come online and show you the process, teach you, have documentation, build up my following. Everything takes steps, right? So, what are the steps that you are needing to complete to get to your next level? I know what my steps are. I have to face my steps, whether they're personal steps, whether they're business steps, career steps. Everybody has steps, right? And everything happens for a reason and a season. So, what I want you all to do is get in the season of understanding the power and the necessity of you learning and harnessing AI and data. And yes, I've seen someone tweet, I think I retweeted it. It was like, oh, we're all going to have to learn SQL and data and Python. Absolutely. If you've never learned coding before, this is the time. I would not tell you not to. And as far as and another thing I want to bring up, the AI artist. One of the other reasons why I wanted to display what I have created is because it's a stream of income. Okay. It's something, it may not be fully successful today, right now. But you're creating all of this AI artwork. Definitely, number one, you definitely want to post your work, put your stuff out there. But another thing is look at your work and say, would this look cute on a suitcase? Do you know how many people want their own design for their suitcase? How many travelers are like, oh, I'm tired of everybody having my suitcase, or I picked up the wrong suitcase. And because you put your AI artwork on that said suitcase, now they have an opportunity to have something rare and unique. This is just a simple e-commerce example. The same thing for clothes. You can put some of these designs are so beautiful, but it would be great if you put together a collection and drop the fashion collection, and you don't know where that will go, right? And I know it can be a little overwhelming and overstimulating for my neuros out there like me, but you have to just get a little bit more open-minded in this time. I feel that that's the one word I would leave with you all. Just be open-minded. You know, we're all going to continue to feel the hits. I've worked in the AI training space for about going on 2 years now. And even in that, it's been so up and down. And that's dealing straight with models. You would think that would be, so when the days of synthetic data really take over and the power is really plugged in, we're going to see the changes, and all of the things that have been whispered in private discussions are going to be on display. So what you all can expect from me for the next couple of days and weeks at a time, as much as I can do, because another thing is this is time consuming. It's very time consuming. And every day you don't feel like doing the thing or showing up. So it's important that you get very organized on your AI journey. Okay. Every day is not a documenting day. Every day is not a posting day. Every day is not a streaming day, right? So get very, very organized. Use from paper to digital. Use your Notion, use your Asana, use your Trello board. Try to complete one thing at a time, and you'll just see the progress. But the current state of AI is that it's here. And I just want you all to start adopting and stop rejecting what is, because doing that is not going to help you in the long run. It's just not, right? And I know we go through processes of grief when we go through changes and we lose something in the, well, it used to be this way, where it's not that way no more, right? And I just I just wanted to share my personal take on everything, and I hope, trust, and pray that again that you all got something from today's live. And though PIP has a new identity, it has been something that has taught me a lot, but it also, like, it really shifted the way I think. And not just because of the incidents and the things, but it was just like, just the world, and just, it's a blessing in things that are uncomfortable or things that hurt you, right? So I've been through a lot of experiences, and I'm blessed to have experienced so much at such a young age. But if you're here today, you have an opportunity to do something that can change the trajectory of your life for the better or the worse, depending on the decision that you make. So I challenge you to get critical, get organized, and get serious about your journey through AI. It is changing and shaping our world right before our eyes. And I want you to realize that you have a tool in your hand to be a part of that shaping. It's up to you to use it. So I love y'all with the love of Christ, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.